This episode, we are going to the South Point Casino for their garden buffet. Micah, this is actually the first time I've ever been here. And before we kind of jump into it, if you want to support the channel, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. And here we go.
Yeah, so Simon, garden buffet in South Point. At the time of recording, we came here on, I believe, a Thursday night, and for Thursday nights they are open at 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. and it is a prime rib dinner with featuring peel and eat shrimp, and then at the time of recording it was $28.95 a person for adults. It was also my first time coming here. I believe this is one of those hotels that you see as you're landing into Las Vegas, and it's kind of like far out away from the strip. I actually was not sure how far away it was from the strip itself, but yeah, it was actually pretty far. It was a pretty long Uber ride for us from our hotel.
Yeah, Micah, this is the first time I've actually ever been to this casino with all the amount of times that we've been together here in Las Vegas, or that I've gone either with family or by myself. This is the first time I visited this casino, so it was pretty interesting to come here. It's definitely kind of your older school casinos in terms of, at least I would say, something similar to something I remember more in the 90s, that kind of style. You know, and that also kind of conveys into the buffet itself. It has that same feeling of those older style buffets, but at least with this buffet, I really actually did enjoy what they had, and so it was pretty good.
Yeah, so when we came here, we actually did not make reservations or anything. I'm not even sure if they have reservations. I just remember coming here and it was pretty late when we arrived. There was probably like, what, 7:38-ish almost, and there was still a line to get in, and there were still people trying to come in here, and there were still a lot of people left over too from previous earlier times for this buffet. I remember going through everything and seeing how a lot of the items and the dishes, they're still pretty full for somewhere that far away from the strip. And I know at least for the dessert portion, that part was bearing down. I mean, there was not much stations or somebody mending it, not like the main entree portion of this buffet.
It's also pretty good sized buffet as well. You know, your typical, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of an old school. Everything's laid on the stations are pretty much on the outside, and then seating on the other portions of it as you walk through. But definitely a good size. I think in terms of the buffet rating, I think it's more underrated. I think because of the distance it is from the strip, not too many people come out here as much. So unless you're specifically coming to eat as we did, or you're staying at the buffet, that's kind of, or locals, you're pretty much getting those customers there. But definitely, if you're nearby, I think it's a place that it's good to visit. It has a pretty decent offering in terms of a variety of food, and at least from the prime rib that I had, that you'll see further in the video, I really did enjoy the prime rib. I usually like to eat my prime rib with horseradish sauce, and so the two together, I really actually did enjoy eating the prime rib there.
Yeah, the prime rib was actually really good. I remember when I came up to the carving station, and the guy actually asked me, "Hey, what do you want? You want something more medium, medium rare, well done?" I said, "I want medium rare." So every single time I came up, I think I came up like, what, 3 more times for her prime rib. So that was really good. I enjoyed that part. Sometimes for these buffets, if they're busy, they don't really offer you. They just cut wherever that's most closest to wherever edge of that meat, and then you have to specially request for the cut that you want. And also the line was not that long, which is really nice for this buffet. Some of the other stations that they have, I believe it's like a Chinese station, a Mexican station, Italian station, barbecue station, and I think a seafood station. But I mean, with each station, it's not like your typical like seafood station where there's like a whole bunch of like crab and crab legs or other seafood. It's kind of mixed in with like sushi rolls and shrimp in this situation, and other shellfish style of seafood there. And their Mexican station, they actually had a pretty good range of what they offered there for that. It's not just like taco shells, and they actually have like chicken enchiladas. I remember seeing that, and they had other offerings there as well, which I think is pretty good for a buffet this far away.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely wasn't disappointed. Yeah, the crowds, at least the time we went, it wasn't too busy, so that also made it pretty nice. And I couldn't say, I would imagine during the weekends it would be much more busy as people come through and they're not working and they're not visiting as we were. But definitely the one thing I did notice was the center section, which had a lot of the desserts in it, and then on the end where they had all the stations with the food and everything. But going through, and definitely like you mentioned earlier with the guy cutting the roast beef, it was nice that, or prime rib I should say, it was nice to actually be able to say this is the piece I want, because for me, and you'll see further in the video, there were times where you had kind of medium pieces, and for me medium pieces just end up being a little bit too dry and just not my preference. And like you, I enjoy that medium rare as well.
Yeah, so some other things I did want to mention here is that they have this huge soup and salad bar, and that soup station, I think they have like 5 different types of soups in there, and it's pretty big. I mean, for a buffet to have like that many type of soups is nice. And also having a Reuben sandwich station that they actually make you the Reuben sandwich fresh. I mean, that's something I've actually never seen around in Las Vegas buffets. It's actual like a sandwich station. Like, cause most people who come to buffet, they're not looking for sandwich, I would say, or at least I wasn't looking for sandwiches, because that's a lot of carbs right there.
Yeah, I agree. It was definitely, I've never actually seen a station for making and building sandwiches like that too, but they put it right next to the soup station, so I guess it kind of makes sense they put the soup and sandwich together. But kind of going back to the soups that we were discussing, I did end up grabbing some creamy tomato soup, and I remember as I was eating it, I took that first bite and just this blast of saltiness hit me. That was probably the thing that I disliked the most. And I remember it was just so salty, and I kept saying, Mike, you need to try this, you need to try this. And then I know I asked you and you tried it and you said it wasn't as salty as you thought, but for me, when I tasted it, it just was, it had, one was that an odd flavor, and then two, it was just so salty that I couldn't focus really on anything else with it because it was just horrible.
Yeah, Simon did ask me multiple times to try that soup, and I really did not want to try it because of the face that he was making when he was drinking it. But I tried it. I mean, we're at buffet, right? So gotta try everything. I tried it. It was not as salty as I thought, or how Simon was describing it. But I did also want to mention that barbecue station. They have barbecue chicken, and that barbecue chicken is definitely not recommended by me. It was pretty dry.
Yeah, we have a shot, a video of the chicken itself, and I remember when I saw Micah cutting into it, and he was kind of saying, you know, it looks dry, and then I looked at it, and I could see it from where I was sitting, which is on the opposite side of the table, and just being there and being able to see how dry the chicken was when he cut it open. So you'll see, as you see in the video, that yeah, it was dry. It was definitely something that is one of those foods where, you know, you take that bite, you're definitely going to have dry mouth right after you finish chewing everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice that they have this offering for people who like dried chicken. If you are someone who likes dried chicken, I mean, that's more for you, because I won't be grabbing any more of that. But if you're not into dried chicken, then yeah, it's something to avoid if you're coming to this buffet. But going through this dessert section, they actually have quite a bit of dessert. They have this like huge section that's like a station section for the dessert. They have a gelato bar as well, and they have different type of like French pastries, cheesecakes, fruits and cream pies. They even have like your own shortcake station that you make yourself, which is definitely a pro. That's something I don't see very often in other buffets that I've been to. And also they have a banana foster station as well. Unfortunately, because we were so late in the night, I don't think that station was still operating. If they were, I didn't get any that time. Maybe something that somebody can try and let us know if it was worth trying.
It was definitely interesting, something that differentiates them from other buffets we've been to that they do offer. But overall, there was a few misses with the buffet, but overall I really did enjoy the buffet and would definitely come back at another time to give it a try.
And to wrap up our video, here are our notables. Unfortunately for this one, there are none.
If you've enjoyed the content you've seen, don't forget to support the channel and hit like and subscribe. And if you want to see additional pictures of food and our travels, go over to our Instagram page and follow us there. And thanks for watching.